Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. CWX here, and I got a little bit of a different video than just gameplay today. We went through the questionnaire yesterday. I actually realized a lot of my videos have been posting in private, but we got this one going, so all good. They're still up on my channel, so you can always go and revisit them, get all that good stuff. But the idea of today's video is basically if I were a new player coming to Pokemon TCG Pocket, what packs would I want to open to get some of the top relevant cards so I can kind of start building some competitive decks pretty quickly. Other creators have done this in the past, but we've had quite a few sets since I've seen any of those videos. So I just kind of wanted to revisit the topic. Get my game loaded up here. We got the pinwheel. So I'm just going to go through set by set and kind of pick some of the top cards. I got a trade in progress here. We'll kind of knock that out real quickly. So I got a note kind of going here on the side. So we got Gen Apex, Mythical Island, Space Time, Smackdown. I think I did a Gimme Gold Ditto, yeah. Cool. Nobody shared with me today, so maybe I should go on Discord and try and get a share. Maybe someone can share me a Starly. I think I will do that real quick. We wanted to go into that section anyway. Let's see here. Sharing hub. What's that Pokemon's name again? Starly, right? Alright, so as you can see here, I kind of got my note going, Smackdown, what was next, Triumphant Light, right? I'm trying to think the best way to do this, so I think we could probably go in this mode. No, I don't want to display all. Let me maybe just write these down real quick. Triumphant Light. Celestial Guardians. Extra Dimensional Crisis. It's a big word. Extra dimensional. EV Grove. Wisdom of Sea and Sky. Secluded Springs and Mega Rising. Crimson Blaze. Alright, those are all our sets. They each got their own little packs inside, so we can actually probably distinguish there as well. But let's just start with Gen Apex. So the trainer cards are going to be obviously huge. A lot of this is just going to be picking out the best trainer cards from each set, so pulling those packs until you either pull that trainer or enough to craft it. I would say when you're just getting started, that's the way you want to do it. So Sabrina is huge in Gen Apex. Hold on, I'm gonna keep my Discord up on the side. All right, here I think, what do we, is subheading, how's that look on stream? I think heading might, it's too small. I guess we'll stick to title. Oh, but I increased the, I think it might look bad on a phone screen, but we'll leave it like this for now. I can always add more. So Sabrina is actually going to be in Char Pack. So let's see here, Charizard. Sabrina. And I guess I can maybe do this. This might make it a little better to watch. Let's see here. That doesn't change that, but what we're gonna have to do is maybe bring these out a little bit. All right, this might make it a little easier, a little cleaner. So Sabrina, definitely we knew. I think Giovanni is also, no, that's Mewtwo pack. Yeah. So we're starting with the trainers. The only other Cantonian or Gen Apex Startups I would really say are worth their salt at all. Do I have my mic on? Okay, I do. All right, we got to go add this guy real quick. Quick detour. So let's actually do it this way, and let's actually go through each pack like this. Pikachu. Alright, but in Charizard, let's see here. None of these cards are really that relevant. Maybe this Magmar or this Flareon, but I would say in current meta, maybe not worth pulling this pack too much. Let's see here. This Helioptile actually in the char pack might be worth it. So I'm going to write that down actually for potentially making it worth pulling this pack. What was the other one? We'll write down Flareon. Flareon could be worth it. That Magmar shit hitting for 50 for 2 is not bad. But I don't want to put too many cards on here because there's definitely some better ones. Like I think the coming up, the Lugia pack, like having a shot at babies. None of these sidekicks are too good. Maybe this Hitmonchan. But I would say kind of, Kabutops. So the Kabuto line. The Kabuto line. Definitely a card worth having. Meltan. I mean, everyone starting out likes Farfetch'd. All right, we're gonna pause that real quick. Oh, crud. What was his name? He said he shared it. Yeah, the big crybaby. All right. Back to the packs. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah. So we got our 9 wins. So now we're just kind of maybe playing the Emblem Showcase for some more wins. But that's why I'm kind of shifting gears. Trying to go through the whole compendium here to see which cards are actually worth opening packs for. I don't think I got to, but I'm pretty. Erica's in the Charizard pack as well. So Kabuto, yeah, Meltan. Now wait a second. Interesting. Why are these out of order? It's because these were not in deluxe pack. So these are all the ones that later were in deluxe pack. So actually, this is kind of cool that they have it organized like this, because then they've mostly kind of said we wanted to re-release these cards in deluxe pack EX because they're kind of the most relevant. So yeah, Crimson Storm Charizard's pretty good. I would say the Stroke Charizard's better. Getting a Moltres is pretty good. Moltres EX. I'm gonna put that one down. Starmie EX, but Greninja, oh my god. That alone, you gotta get 2 Greninjas. Like, the Gen Apex Greninja. I think the newer Froakies and Frogadiers are better, but since you're pulling this pack already, you're probably gonna get those ones. So, we'll leave it at that. But Greninja, this is like probably the best or one of the top 3 or 4 cards in the entire game. That passive damage is just so powerful, and only attacking for 1 water and 2 total, 120 HP. I mean, yeah, this card is meta defining. The only other cards I can really say might be up there have been Giratina, Darkrai, and like Sylveon EX. Those are like all like the best cards, and there was a time where those 3 cards were in a deck together. That was like the best deck. Yeah, Erica and Farfetch'd. So the Charizard pack is pretty strong here. Let's do this. That honestly might be one of the best decks to pull at the start, because you can get Greninja, maybe Starmie going, and Executor EX. I think that I'm gonna put that down because that definitely, I think, deserves a mention as well. And Erica. So honestly, one of the first packs, I know, but Executor is definitely up there for me. So now we can move on to Mewtwo. The scroll wheel on Moomoo Player sometimes is pretty tough. Alright, Mewtwo pack. We're going to do this in... Does this have the deluxe pack EX cards at the end? It does. Alright. Beedrill EX in one of the later packs is a pretty dang good card, I would say. So, maybe this line. Venonat and Venomoth. I think there is a Mega for Venomoth. It hasn't been released into the game yet, but like in the mainline games and Pokemon Go, pretty sure there is a Mega Venomoth, so that could come back. Whimsicott, you know, we have the Mega now, or the EX. The Blaine deck early on is a pretty good deck to build, but I wouldn't say it's super meta relevant now. So I'm gonna leave Blaine. Blaine does plus 30 for Rapidash and Magmar and Ninetales. So that's a pretty good supporter card. It's not really that good anymore. None of the new Rapidashes. I thought maybe when they came out with some new Rapidash cards, be good, but it's a skip for now. There's a pretty good Sandalazzle card that burns and poisons. And I think I usually like to use this Sandalit with that card. So for Mewtwo, we will put Sandalit. Or, I don't even know how to say it. Salandit. I said Sandalit. I guess it's Salandit. This Centiskorch card actually isn't that bad. Only one fire energy, but you gotta discard a fire energy. So something with like a baby or Moltres. People were even saying this is better than the other Charizard because you're only giving up 1 point. 3 Retreat Cross is pretty tough. Maybe you could use it with the new Heavy Helmet, which we'll get into in a couple packs from now. So let's see here. Any of these water cards really relevant? This Articuno card, maybe. I'm going to leave it off the list. Again, we did the Helioptile. Oh, wait. Helioptile is on Mewtwo, not Charizard. So let's go back and fix that. Helioptile. Right? I'm on Mewtwo pack. Oh, it's in all of them. It's in all of them. I think they did away with that. I think they like... I'm not sure if there's really many cards that are... Like... I wonder if Mega Rising there was cards that were in all the packs. I think they kind of did away with that. I think that was just kind of a Gen Apex. Maybe they did that a little bit in Space Time Smackdown. This Gengar is not bad. For one, you're doing 50 and they can't use supporters that 130 HP. That's a pretty good card. Ooh, yeah. Okay, Gardevoir though. Interesting enough, this isn't... They're not the full line here, so I'm interested to see what's at the end here, but Gardevoir line. Gardevoir is a super powerful card. Accelerates 1 energy, psychic energy to your active psychic Pokemon. It's like a really powerful ability. I always felt like this Sandslash was kind of underrated. This Hitmonlee is important. I'm trying to think how expansive I want this list to be. Like, was it ever relevant? Is it relevant now? Like Marowak, I don't know. Let's say Gengar. Ooh, Dragonite. Yeah. Pidgeot. This Porygon is pretty good. That's so interesting. So I think maybe in the deluxe pack EX they put the other Corellia and Ralts, and they just brought in this Gardevoir because the other one eventually evolves into Gallade and has colorless energy. Um, so that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that before. This Mewtwo's not that spectacular. Um, it was back in the day, but I'm not gonna include it. So that's kind of the list there. I mean, Venusaur with Mega Venusaur EX now is kind of relevant. I guess I'll put that down. Venusaur. EX. Alright, let's move on to Pikachu. And like, this is just kind of a rough cut just to get, like, I mean, by doing this, I'll definitely get, like, the top cards, and, like, if I miss some of the edge ones, like, whatever. I'm just thinking about, like, that first week packs. Like, I want to get building decks right away. Um, can I unbold these? Maybe that might help. Because this is not super readable. Yeah. Let's do that. Unbold. Still not super readable. I'm gonna maybe put some more margin. That helps a little bit. Pikachu. Alright, looking through the Pikachu cards. None of these grass cards are super good. Grass got better cards later. Is this Arcanine good? No, I don't really love it. Is this Blastoise better than the new Blastoise that knows, what is it, double cannon or double bombardment or whatever? So for both of them, I think attack for 3 and 5 energy. This does 80 or 140, which is pretty good. The other one does 90 and then 50 to the bench. So that's also 440 or 140. I'm not sure which is better, the bench damage. Something to think about. I'm not going to put him down, because in that case you just want to pull the newer cards. This Magikarp, not really worth it. This Almastar is not that great. None of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move Helioptile up to the top because he's in all of the packs. I guess like that's fine for now. None of these psychic cards are that good. Diglett, I'm not gonna put that down. There'll be other cards that are just as decent. Gotta put Misty down. I mean, Misty is a card you gotta have. Other than that, this Pikachu's decent, but oh my god, Magneton, Gen Apex Magneton. That's right up there with Greninja. Gotta mention that. Yeah, so you gotta pull Pikachu. Pikachu and Charizard, I think back in the day, I liked Mewtwo better, but in the current meta, getting this Magneton is like huge. It's what, 3 stars, so that's 150 pack points. So you need to open 15 packs to get one of these, 30 packs to get two. Yeah, especially with the current meta, this is like a card you really, really want. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So let's move on to Mythical Island. I don't want to get too late into the day on this video, but we'll try and start moving through. Gen Apex is a big pack, so hopefully the rest of these packs will start moving a little quicker. Okay. Do I like any of these cards? This Delmize card actually gets slept on. If it has 4 energy, it does 90. I think with that the superior card, that's 2 for 90, which is pretty good. None of the Mythical Island cards are really that relevant anymore, I would say. There's a couple we'll see at the end. This Golem card was good for a while. That minus 30 is actually pretty strong, so if you can get it charged up. I used to kind of like playing this Weezing with one of the other Weezing, having both options, like was kind of a fun way to play Dark in the early days. Druddigon, I'll mention it. I don't think he's that good anymore. But just so we can get a couple of these monsters mentioned, or cards for Gen Apex. This Eevee is actually pretty good. I'm going to put this Eevee down. Because you have infinite damage. Blue, we can kind of mention, I guess. Blue. Take minus 10. And then Celebi. EX. Superior line. Gyarados. EX. Yeah, and since we put Eevee, we'll mention this Vaporeon. Oh, Mew EX for sure. We'll mention Marshadow. And I'm not going to put Pidgeot EX, but I will put Leaf. So the moves are that. Okay, actually, let's see here. Why? Can I just make all of these a little bit bigger? Alright, hopefully that helps you guys a little bit as I go through here. Space-Time Smackdown. We're gonna unbold. Alright, let's move on to... This is another big set. Gen Apex, those first 2 main sets had a lot of good cards because this is where we got Cyrus, Tools, and more. So we're in Dialga pack here. Oh my gosh. I'll just do it like that. I don't know. Not the best word processor, but we're gonna just kind of roll with it here. All right, looking at Dialga pack. Any of these cards good? Maybe this Leafeon. All right, I gotta re-up on my coffee, fam. One sec. Okay. Maybe that Slugma. People like to play that Magcargo deck. Actually, that could be. You're trying to get early wins, like in the event. I've seen that going around. So we'll say Slugma. I think the Palkia pack is a little better than the Dialga pack. At least you get pack points for both, kind of working towards your first Cyrus. But yeah, we'll kind of see between the two what's good. Yeah, I don't love this Magneton. The other one is just so good with its ability. We'll say Togekiss. That's a pretty good. Yeah, and the Cynthia card to go with. That's a pretty fun deck to build. So if you keep pulling this back, you can maybe get to that. That's good. No EX deck. I'm gonna say, ooh, the Lake Spirit deck. I haven't messed around with that in a while. I wonder if that. I'm gonna kind of make a note on the side for that Lake Spirit. Just for me to come back to. Yeah, I wonder about that. This Hitmontop, 2 for 50. It's not bad. Rampardos. Actually, I was talking smack, but Rampardos is huge. So Rampardos hits for 130, 1 energy, and does 50 to itself and recoil if it knocks out your opponent. Crazy good card, meta defining. Also, Lucario, the Fighting Coach Lucario. So yeah, this actually has some heaters. Rampardos and Lucario is crazy. Is this that Skarmory? Huh, okay. Skarmory. It's always a good card. Kind of splash into your metal decks. Yeah, none of these other cards seem that great. Let's see here. Yanmega. Yanmega attacks for colorless energy. So you could splash into other decks. I'll say Shaman. That Magnezone. Yeah, so here's the the deluxe EX cards that got re-released. And we'll say Gallade. Darkrai. Holy smokes, actually. Dialga pack go hard. Even Dialga, Pecom, Cape. And Dawn. So those are all pretty crazy cards. So honestly, I don't know, between SmackDown and Gen Apex, like if I'm starting out, what do I want to build? I'm not sure. That's tough. Let's look at Palkia here. Yeah, so some of these cards are in both. Like Slugma. Magnemite, Magneton as well as in both. So is Togekiss. So I'm going to italicize those. Although Cynthia might only be in one of the packs, we'll see here. Skarmory's in both. I do like Bastiodon, so I'm going to put that down, Bastiodon. Garchomp. I'm going to hold off on Garchomp. Did we get Barry, or was Barry later? Let's look at Cynthia here. Cynthia might only be in Palkia pack. She is. So I'm actually just going to move this down. And then Magnezone was kind of in both. Ms. Mages, Palkia, Manaphy, definitely Manaphy. I actually don't even really want to put Palkia, EX, or Weavile down. Definitely Helmet, though. Helmet, Cyrus, Mars. Alright. That's kind of the base cards there for Palkia. Let's move on to Triumphant Light. I mean, another way you could do this is maybe just go back and look how many cards from each pack were represented in a deluxe pack EX. That'd be another kind of smart way to do it. Alright, Triumphant Light. Let's see here. These have all the Arceus Link cards. Which honestly haven't aged that well. This Gengar is pretty good. I'll put Gengar down. I do feel like this Toxicroak could go hard. I'm gonna mention it. Toxicroak. Because it's like a better version of poison than all the other poison. Kind of interesting. These Magnemites and Magnetons are not great. Maybe one of the worst cards in the game is that Giratina. Barry, we'll mention. Sky Shaman. Let's see here. Leafeon, definitely. Leafeon EX. That Garchomp EX is pretty good. Crobat. Arceus. Did I say Shaman? And Irida. Definitely all cards worth mentioning, but say Triumphant Lights might be the weakest pack of them all. Probably the one I've opened the least and would open the least going forward. Had some fun cards, but yeah. So I feel like they kind of got out of the release schedule they wanted to, or maybe they did mean to do this, because they did go... So Shining Revelry and Triumphant Light both kind of supported SmackDown. And then Extra Dimensional Crisis and Eevee Grove kind of supported Celestial Guardians, Secluded Springs, and I guess Deluxe Pack EX kind of supported Wisdom Sea and Sky. So kind of interesting how they did the release schedule, but let's keep it moving here. Maybe before I get into Shining Revelry, I'm going to go work on my coffee for a quick second. Okay, we'll do this pack. So starting from the top, we got Stoke, Zard, which is really good. One of the better cards, I'd say, even today. Stoke, Zard, and the fam. Let's see here. Actually, let's get that going. There we go. Wow, Dondozo Days was back in Shining Revelry. Crazy. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of other cards that make me really want to come back to Shining Revelry yet. Pokemon Center Lady for sure. PCL for short. Team Rocket Grunt, I don't know. Kind of meh. Although, okay, there's probably a lot of Deluxe Pack EX cards now that I'm looking here. So, Meowscarada for sure. We'll say Beedrill as well. Beedrill. Meow. Scarada. I would say that version of Pikachu is probably the best. Pikachu. EX. Giratina for sure. It's like the main guy. These other ones, I don't know in red. So Shining Revelries maybe a little weak too. I mean, Giratina is crazy, goes crazy, and the grass got a lot of support. I think it was an answer to Darkrai. They knew Darkrai was powerful. Gold Pokeball, I guess, is worth a mention. Because that's in almost every deck. Yeah, we'll put it down. Gold Pokeball. Alright, Solgaleo. Oh. Alright, we're looking at... Wait, what? Alright. What's good in the Solgaleo? Nothing. Solgaleo. Although this Salazzle, this is the one I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to put that down, Salazzle. That can be a good kind of support secondary monster line. It's only a stage 1. So I'm going to mention it. Salazzle. Banette could be worth it. During your opponent's next turn, they can't take any energy from their energy zone and attack it attached to their active Pokemon. So that can bind them so they don't get to retreat. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Maybe like with Gardevoir or Elemental Switch, but yeah, that could really lock him up. Did we miss Oricorio? What set was Oricorio in? That's probably like number one card. Um, we'll look at that in a second. Maybe was it Celestial Guardians when we got Oricorio? I mean, this Oricorio is pretty good too. Oh, right, no, not that one. There's two. I think they had two Psychic Oricorios. Maybe it's another pack. Lycanroc. Kinda, maybe. Dranapaw, maybe. Toucannon is interesting. I'm going to put Toucannon down. It's a stage 2, tax for 1, energy, colorless, 70. So you can kind of splash that into any deck. Gotta keep that in. And then Kamala is a basic Pokemon that attacks for 2 colorless, does 70, so that kind of is an Oricorio counter. Yeah, Oricorio. So Oricorio was in, maybe it's in the Lunala pack. Lily. So Incineroar. Oricorio. Solgaleo. Rare Candy. Leaf Cape. Lily. So that's pretty big. I mean, those packs, that's pretty huge. Let's see the Lunala pack. So Salazzle was in both. We'll say Turtonator. Because that with Kiawe could still be a strategy. I'm going to pass on Primarina. But worth mentioning, Banet's on both. Tapu Lele, definitely though. Tapu Lele. I'm going to pass on that Rockruff. I think that was just kind of a one and done back in the day. Buchanan was in both. Elma for sure. Guzma. That or a Choreo. Gonna put here Spite. It's kind of the same as Marshmallow. He does the revenge damage. Is Lunala worth it? I mean, with Giratina, you can be charging up, and then move it to Lunala. Trying to think where else. I mean, just too many cards. It's too many cards for what you get. I don't know. I'm gonna pass. I just don't see it. Rare candies in both. Yeah. So Lunala, not that great. That actually might be the least favored pack. Yeah, don't. I would say if you're a new player, do not open Lunala. Alright, Extra Dimensional Crisis. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'd say some of these are, we're kind of getting into less, I'm seeing less and less staples. So here, yeah, we'll mention Decidueye. Where was the other one though? Was that in CG? Let's look at this real quick. Where are you? Did I miss you? Okay, I did miss you. So that's actually a decent card. Or more than decent. It's like meta relevant. I mean, this Shintalk had some play, because what? Yeah, it starts to thin your deck down, put a random Pokemon. So it's like a free draw, which is powerful. Stoutland, that Stoutland's pretty good. I'll mention it. And what about Silvally? Maybe because that was in Deluxe Pack. Repel, we'll mention. Maybe they put Silvally, but not Gladion. I mean, these three cards are all good. Buzz, Pheromosa, Kartana, Tapu Koko, EX is good. Zera Aura is good. Nihiligo is good. Do I mention Guz? He's just a big tanky basic, not bad. Grindcore is kind of can win you games, so we'll say Guzzlord. Type null. Silvally, Gladion, package, electrical cord. And I think that's what I'm gonna say for Extra Dimensional Crisis. So we're getting there. We're getting close here. This is for Eevee Grove. Alright, I would say beginning Bolt Jolteon. Espeon. With Energy Crush. Sylveon. Evo Harmony. EVEX. Torkoal. Sylveon EX. Prim. Dragonite EX. Let me look at the EX cards on this real quick. That's all we got? Flareon and Sylveon and Eevee were the only EX EVs we got, huh? Interesting. I thought we had more, but I guess not. So that's all I'm gonna say on that, because maybe I'm just have a old bias on Wisdom of Sea and Sky. So Ho-Oh. Alright, so what do we got in Ho-Oh? Magcargo. It's worth it. Magby, huge. So this is, yeah, we're starting to get back into some of the actual meta now with the babies. The babies was a huge meta shift. Smoochum, I don't know about. That Togekiss, I don't know. Tyrogue. Hitmontop. Zubat. Like, these are still in the scope of the current Power Crept meta. Crobat EX. Anything else in here? Steel Apron, I think, is relevant. Dark Pendant, not ever really good enough. Let's read that card again together real quick. If the dark Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon, your opponent reveals a random card from their hand and shuffles into their deck. Alright, so they just reveal. We don't get to see. So I think this was the last pack they put into the deluxe pack. Yeah. Ho-Oh is a pretty good card. I mean, generating 3 energies. Pretty strong. But for some reason, I feel like Magneton, like the other kind. We'll put Umbreon and Skarm just because those are fairly decent cards. And they're just cool Pokemon. Let's see here. Let's move over to Lugia pack. So this is the last pack. I don't have all the missions completed. I'm still hunting shiny Gyarados. We'll say Typhlosion. Pichu. Won't mention Elekid. Don't sleep on Elekid. Cleffa. The babies are all pretty relevant, so yeah, good reason to open that pack. Wait, did we say Hitmontop? So they didn't completely do away with that. Hitmontop's in both. That version of Absol is relevant. We'll say this Eevee as well. Porygon 2. Will. Espeon EX. Elemental Switch. Lyra. And that's all I'm going to kind of say for Wisdom of Sea and Sky. Now, the last A Series pack, Secluded Springs. We are definitely going to have to say, you know who, Suicune off the top. Alright, Jumpluff, sure. EX. Celebi, we'll mention. Kind of interesting card. Entei. I don't see too much of, what's his name? Raikou. There's our guy, Suicune, Mantike. I'm gonna lay off Raikou. I don't know if it's even he's worth exactly. Some of these other cards are interesting. That Swablu, maybe. Other than the one that knows Sing. Memory Light could be good. I'm going to mention it. Alright. That is our Series A list. I guess I will divide these down into packs. Let's go Gyarados. Blaziken. Altaria. Alright, let's see what we got here. Heatmore, which I think is in all of them. I guess Mega Gyarados. Jellicent is relevant. Greninja EX, I'm gonna skip. Jolteon EX though. Very good card. Chingling, duh. Mega Absol. Hydreigon. Eevee. Heavy Helmet, Copycat. Alright, so that's Mega Gyarados. Let's look at Blaziken. Mega Pinsir, sure. Mega Blaziken. Heatmore is in all of them. So is Chingling. Hitmonchan. We'll say Aegislash. Yeah, why not? We got the gold rare, so they're saying that card's important. Flame Patch. Same deal. May, I guess. Two more packs to go. We're almost there, fam. They're saying Whimsicott is good. I'm gonna pass. Chandeler's pretty decent. Mega Ampharos. I mean, Mega Altaria is definitely mentioned. Mega Altaria. Jirachi. Ndidi. We'll say Lucia. That might be it, though. Yeah, it is. Wow, okay, last pack. What are the meta relevant? It's hard because now we're on the current pack. Like these B series packs, like it's a little harder for me because do you pull the recent packs? You kind of do. You kind of pull the recent packs, but Mega Venusaur. Say Mega Blast, yeah. Mega Char. That Charmeleon is worth just an extra mention because it is that good. This guy right here. This is a really good card. New Magnezone. Heliolisk. Clement. I'm gonna skip Reuniclus, even though that seems kind of OP. Mega Lopunny. Quick Grow Extract. Serena. And that might be kind of the list, extensive list of meta cards, or some of the top cards to go after as a new player. Let's go back and just double check, even though we can't pull deluxe pack, excuse me, EX, we can just kind of review and see if there's anything on their list that we missed. I mean, we kind of talked about these cards. Is this card? It's just... Delmise, no. Well, they put every EX cards. So some of these EX cards they put in their families, even though they're not that good. So I'm going to run through it once kind of quickly. I mean, they put Assisting Heater, like Arcanine. I don't know if I'd really say that's a chase card. Infernape. We didn't put Infernape down. I'm going to go back. Let's see here. This was in Palkia, I think. Yeah. Decent card. Decent card. We'll mention it. Water, Kingdra, Starmie, I'm not going to mention. Articuno, eh. Wishy-washy, no. Alolan Raichu, maybe I would have mentioned. That's a definite maybe kind of deal. Zapdos, nah. This Pachirisu. It's just better to run Pichu these days. Or Choreo, duh. This version of Gengar, I think maybe the other Gengar I did give some love to. This Jinx actually is pretty good. 20 for each. So that version of Psychic is pretty dang good. There's other Pokemon than the Psychic, but for 2 energy, 1, you can come in and do pretty good. I think like the Smoochum. But yeah, that's a fringe card. Good one to know about. This Giratina. They put the Sweets Relay stuff into the Deluxe Pack EX, which I am just kind of surprised about. Kind of filler, I guess. I like this Marowak, maybe, but not good enough to really chase, I would say, these days. Did I put Gallade down? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Marshadow, Crobat EX, yeah, definitely like relevant. Umbreon EX. I skipped on Weevil. I skipped on Dugtrio. Skipped on Tinkaton. Skipped on Pidgeot and Wigglytuff. Licky's kind of interesting one. I wouldn't say chase. Same with Snorlax, Lugia, Delcatty, all of that. Not super chase cards. Eevee Bag. We didn't mention Eevee Bag, but Eevee Bag could be in there. Irida. We mentioned all of these trainers, I think. Cyrus. Silver, we did not mention. Lusamine, we skipped on. Yep. So that's kind of the list. So let's review here. I really like early on trying to get Greninja. Like that's a huge card. So I don't know how we can note to mark this, but I mean, I could just make a side list, but Greninja is huge, and there's enough good cards in the Charizard pack. Like getting Sabrina and Greninja and Erica, and getting that Executor deck, because you can play you can do okay with Executor. So I would say Charizard is definitely up there for me. Reviewing Mewtwo. Giovanni, Gardevoir. I mean, these are good, but I'm still giving it to Charizard. Same with Magnet and Misty. So like, you can kind of charge up and just keep getting pack points off of Charizard pack as you get your 2 Greninjas for, say, Magneton. So if you pull 2 Greninjas, so Gen Apex in general, because you have 3 packs that you're using pack points against, so trying to get your Sabrinas, Giovannis, Magnetons, and Greninjas. And your those other cards. Moltres EX. So Gen Apex is a really good one. I would say skip Mythical Island. Nothing in here is super like crazy. Celebi is a skip. So Gen Apex and Spacetime Smackdown are probably like 2 of the best ones to be pulling from early on in your journey, because you definitely want to get Cyrus early. Helmets and capes. So I'm gonna create a new window for this. Can I do that? Or we'll do a DM to ourselves and can we do that? Where can we do this? No, I don't want kiwi fruit. Can you DM yourself? It's kind of frustrating. I guess we'll do it in the chat here on YouTube. That's a good place to do it. So, very, very top cards to chase. We're going to say Gen Apex. And we're chasing Greninja, Sabrina, Geo, Magneton, Moltres EX, Gardevoir, and let's see here, Misty, Kabutops, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So there's quite a few good Gen Apex cards. MI, Skip, STS, we want Cyrus, Rampardos, Lucario, Darkrai, Cape. I mean, so those are all pretty good. We also want Helmet, Rocky Helmet, Mars. So those are pretty good ones to chase. We'll throw Leafeon in there too. Triumphant Light is a skip. Actually, Giratina. Or no. That's in Shining Reveille. Triumphant Light. I mean, Irida and Arceus. Yeah, that's not immediate. TL is skip. SR, honestly, Giratina is great, but early on we're skipping. We're sticking to GA and STS. Yeah, we're skipping. CG, yeah, we want, I think CG, the main sets, actually, if I'm kind of reviewing the game release, I mean, there's been some really good cards on the boosters, but the non-themed boosters, the kind of the main sets, the ones that come in 2 or 3 packs, we want rare candy. So good. Lily, Leaf Cape. I mean, that Solgaleo deck is pretty good. We'll say Solgaleo. You can play that in ranked and have decent success. Or Choreo. Yeah, so honestly, Solgaleo might be the first pack I recommend going for. Yeah, that's just too good. Solgaleo. I'd say go for that pack. ED. Yeah, I mean, there's not too many cards in that set. You can get some pretty good ones, but same with the boosters. I think you just skip the boosters at first. EVEX is pretty good. Building some of the EV decks. Yeah, we're going to say skip those, though. Skip. Sylveon EX is pretty good. Alright, I'm going to say... okay, we'll say Sylve. Cord. And not Ligo. EG. EVEX. Sylvex. I'm going to leave it at that. WSS. Babies. That's really it. You just got to grab yourself some babies. Maybe Elemental Switch. And then I would say, yeah, then maybe, oh, yeah, the Suicune deck. Suicune, Entei. Mantike. Mega Rising. You want Absol. Chingling. Hydreigon. Eevee. Copycat. And then on the new set, you know, it's kind of whatever. I would say Clemont pack. Yeah, so after reviewing, looking back, I think those original I'd say Charizard and Solgaleo. I'd say I would push on Solgaleo till you get the Solgaleo deck, Oricorios, and then from there I'd go back and push on Genetic Apex for a while. That would be my recommendation to a new player. As for me, we are hunting Shiny Gyarados and we got a pack here, so let's check it out. If we get it on stream, that'd be sick. Oh. Oh. So there you have it, folks. That's my breakdown for a new player. Nothing really good we want there. Let's see here. Does the shop have anything? We could use our hourglasses. Why not? We should. We're close to getting that. We're close to getting that. We just need one more Starly. Which could we craft? How much is it? Is it 35? Before we do that, what cards do we not have that we could craft or would want to craft? And will we ever get enough points to craft? It's all gonna be 2-star or more. So those are kind of coming in the wonder picks. Let's look at the shiny list. I don't really want Lunala, Guzzlord, or Solgaleo, so that's kind of whatever. Let's look at the one shinies. Oddish. Type Null and Savali would be the only ones I'd kind of consider, so I don't know. Let's just wait. We can wait. We don't need the emblem today. We can just ask for a share tomorrow. Okay, we do have a trade token, but I don't really want to waste a trade token or stamina. on that. There's the event. Is there anything else we can do in game right now? Not really. We can open a pack. We'll open another pack. That's what we'll do. That's what I was gonna do. Come on, baby. $855, so we need another 45 points. That's 9 packs, 29 packs, 29 more packs. One day. But I think that's a good place to end the stream. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time.